Floyd Mayweather Jr. stripped of his WBO welterweight title. I'm Darren Haynes. For more on this, let's bring in ESPN senior boxing writer Dan Rafael. Dan, why was Floyd Mayweather stripped of this particular title?
Well, I mean, Darren, it wasn't that big of a surprise. To tell you the truth, this was something that was expected by many people. The reality was when he fought Manny Pacquiao, they were supposed to meet to unify three of the belts, the two that Floyd owns and the one that Manny owned. And Floyd won the fight. He was supposed to get the third one. But he said ahead of time that he wasn't going to fight for it. And so there were no arrangements that were made for him to take that title. So, for example, he didn't get charged the sanction fee after the fight. Then he had a change of heart, even though he said after the fight that he wanted to vacate his belts and give younger fighters an opportunity to win them. So the WBO was like, okay, look, Floyd's a great fighter. We respect him. We'll give him that opportunity. If he wants to have the title, by all means, he deserves it. He wanted it in the ring. The problem was he did not comply with the very specific rules that the WBO laid out, which is, one, you got to pay your fee, like every champion does. It's a business. They have to pay their fee. Floyd made $220-something million. The fee was $200,000. He didn't pay the fee. And on top of that, and this is more important than that other stuff, because they could have worked out the belt stuff, Floyd Mayweather also holds belts from two organizations in the junior middleweight division. The WBO rules, as do other rules for other organizations, expressly prohibit fighters from holding belts in multiple weight classes. Now, the other titles that Mayweather has, those organizations, they are breaking their rules. The WBO was not going to break its rules. So typically they give a guy 10 days to make a decision in which division they want to keep their title. They showed Mayweather a lot of love. They gave him 2 months to make a decision, and he still didn't vacate the two titles he has at 154 pounds. So therefore, in their resolution today, they said they had no choice but to follow the rules and to strip him of their 147-pound title.
Well, he still has those 4 other title belts, and Floyd Mayweather definitely has enough money to pay a fee. Let's go now to the belt. So what's the next step for this? Who gets it? What's the next move?
Well, on June 27th, I was in Carson, California for a terrific fight between Timothy Bradley Jr. and Jesse Vargas. Bradley used to hold that title. Vargas holds a title in the 140-pound weight class. They were supposed to fight for the vacant title. When Floyd decided he wanted to keep that title, the WBO made a decision to make that belt for the 147 interim title. So therefore, they fought that fight. Bradley won a decision in an excellent fight, and it was going to be pending Floyd Mayweather's decision. Now that he's been stripped of the belt, at some point in the not-too-distant future, Timothy Bradley will officially be elevated to the full title holder, and therefore the vacancy will be filled immediately.
That is ESPN senior boxing writer Dan Rafael with the latest on Floyd Mayweather Jr. stripped of the WBO welterweight title.